Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. For this video, I will be going over another math lesson, area and perimeter. So, let's start with the area and perimeter of a square. So, to find the perimeter of a square, you're going to multiply the side length by 4. And to find the area of a square, you're going to multiply the side length by itself. So, here we have a square, and we see that the side length is 3 centimeters. Now we can go, and to find the perimeter, we know we're going to have to multiply the side length by 4. So if we multiply 3 times 4, we're going to get that the perimeter is 12 centimeters. So perimeter is always going to be written as the unit like this afterwards, after the perimeter's number. Always don't forget the units because that's very important. And the area, we're going to multiply the side length by itself. So 3 times 3, and we're going to get 9. So it would be 9 centimeters squared. So for perimeter, it's going to look like this. Also important to not forget. And the reason it's squared is because, there's two side lengths that you're multiplying together. And that's why you're going to make it squared. And yeah, that's the practice problem. But now you guys can pause the video and try doing this one by yourself, where you have to find the perimeter and area of this square. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and finished, because now I will be going over it. So, if you want to find the side length, area and perimeter of a square that is 4 centimeters, you are going to, first for the perimeter, multiply the side length by 4, and you'll get 16 centimeters. And to find the area, you're going to multiply the side length by itself, and in this case it would be the same as the perimeter, but instead of 16 centimeters, it'll be 16 centimeters squared. So, find the perimeter, it's equal to 16 centimeters, and to find the area of a square, 16 centimeters squared. And as we learned in the exponent lesson, this is just trying to say that this here is an exponent. Though if you're writing it on paper, you don't need to include that sign, only for a computer. Now into a rectangle. To find the perimeter of a rectangle, you're going to add the length and width, then multiply by 2. And for the area, you're going to multiply the length times the width. So one of the sides is the length and the other side is the width. So you're just going to multiply them for the area and add them and multiply them by 2. So let's have a practice problem before you guys go do that other problem when you pause the video. So this problem, here it'll be 3 and here it'll be 16. So perimeter, you're going to add and then multiply by 2. So 16 plus 3 times 2. So we will get 38, and we don't have it. Let's put inches as the units this time. Inches. So it'll be 38 inches. Now the area, we're just going to multiply. So 16 times 3. And when we do 16 times 3, we're going to get 48 inches squared. Okay, so now you guys can pause the video and do this practice problem where the side lengths are 8 and 2. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and finished it, because I will be going over the answers now. So, as you know, we have the side lengths as 8 and 2. So first, let's start with the perimeter. To find the perimeter, we're going to add the length and width, then multiply by 2. So 8 plus 2 times 2. So this would equal 20, and let's see the units. Units in this are also centimeters, so it would be 20 centimeters. And then for area, we would just multiply both of them, so 8 times 2, we will get 16 centimeters. So most of the problems I have for all of these are going to be pretty simple, but the important thing to know is the formula, because if these numbers were to turn into like 111 here and then 237 here, that would get like a lot harder. But I made it easier so it would be easier to like know the formula and how to use it. So here are our answers, and I'll put them here. So the perimeter is 20 centimeters, and the area is 16 centimeters squared. Now onto a triangle. For the perimeter, you're just going to add all the side lengths. So for the area, we're going to multiply the base and the height, then divide by 2. Base is the bottom side, and height, as you can see in this problem you're going to do later if you want to, this 5 would be the height and the 9 would be the base. And you're dividing it by 2 because, as you know, a square and rectangle have 4 sides, the triangle only has 3. So to get it to square centimeters, you're going to have to divide by 2. So, oops, sorry about that. Just trying to erase. Okay, so let's say we have this triangle, and we have here 9 centimeters, and the height is 8 centimeters. So to find the perimeter, we're going to have to add all the side lengths. But for some reason here, they've only given us one side length. Well, when they do that and they ask you to find the perimeter, you're always going to have to assume that this means it's an equilateral triangle. But to make it more simpler, we can have another example. We're going to do both of these. 10 centimeters. Height is 12 centimeters. And here it's 3. Well, that would be unreasonable. Let's make it 7 centimeters. And here we'll make it 6 centimeters. So for this one, we're going to assume it's an equilateral triangle, and we're going to multiply this by 3, because if it's equilateral, that just means a 9's here and 9's here, which is the same thing as multiplying it 3 times. So 9 plus 9 plus 9 equals 9 times 3, which equals 27 centimeters. So this would be the perimeter for this triangle. And for the area, we're going to multiply base times height and divide by 2. So 9 times 8 over 2 would equal 72 over 2. And if you were to divide this, you would get 36 centimeters squared. Okay, now let's do the second example where it's not an equilateral, and I just thought it was important to point that out because sometimes if you're working with areas, they might just give you one, and you would have to assume it's an equilateral triangle most of the time. So here, perimeter is straightforward, just add all the sides. 6 plus 7 plus 10. When we do this, we get 23 centimeters. For area, we're going to multiply base times height and divide by 2. And we're going to get 120 divided by 2. And when we do this, we are going to get 60 centimeters squared. Okay, now you guys can work on this practice problem, and when you are done, you can unpause the video so I'll go over it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you paused the video and done it if you wanted to, because I will now be going over it. So here we know it's going to be, for the perimeter, 4 plus 7 plus 9. So I'll just do it here this time. 4 plus 7 plus 9. We know that when we do 4 plus 7 plus 9, I'm going to move it over here. 4 plus 7 plus 9. We will get 20, and they don't provide anything, so we're just going to put it as 20 units. Because here in the problem, we don't see centimeters or inches, so we're going to assume 20, well, not assume, it's going to be 20 units. That's just vague terms if you don't have anything. So perimeter would be 20 units. And area, we're going to multiply 9 times 5 and then divide by 2. When we do this, we get 45 divided by 2. And we're going to get a decimal this time. The decimal is going to be 22.5 units squared. So I'm going to highlight it so you guys know what the answer is. Now on to 2-4, a parallelogram. To find the perimeter of a parallelogram, add the two different given side lengths and then multiply by 2. And then for the area, you are going to multiply the base and height like a triangle's area formula, but since this is a quadrilateral, which means all 4 sides, which, yeah, as I say here, which is a 4-sided shape, there's no need to divide by 2. Okay, so let's have a practice parallelogram. So here's the parallelogram we're going to use. Okay, so we're going to give this side 5 yards, and we're going to give this side 8 yards. And we're going to make the height 4 yards. 4. Okay. Perimeter, we are going to add the two different side lengths and then multiply by 2. So 8 plus 5 times 2, and we are going to get 26 yards. Area is going to be base times height, but no dividing by 2. This time, like a triangle, we have to divide by 2. But here we don't have to, so it would be just 8 times 4, and we are going to get 32 yards squared. Okay, now pause the video and do this practice problem, and when you're done, you can unpause. Okay? I assume you've done it, so I'll be going over it now. So, we see here for the perimeter of a parallelogram, we can just add 7 plus 8 and then multiply by 2. And when we do this, we are going to get 30 centimeters. And for the area, we're going to multiply base times height. Remember here, I tell you that base is the bottom side, so not the 7 but the 8. So it would be 8 times 4, and you would get 32 centimeters squared. Okay, so I'll highlight these once again. And finally, the last thing we'll be going over in this video is a trapezoid. Perimeter, just add all the sides, and area, add the top, base, and bottom base, then divide by 2, finally multiply by height. So it's a lot of steps, and it's important to note this because this is the most complicated area out of anything we're going to be going over, that we went over in this video. So let's do a practice problem. Okay, that's not too straight. This is a trapezoid we'll be using. Here it's 12 centimeters. Here it's 5 centimeters. This will be 8 centimeters. And this one is 11 centimeters. So for the perimeter, we're just going to add all the side lengths. So we can add 5 plus 11 plus 12 plus 8. So when we do this, we know 12 plus 8 is 20, 5 plus 11 is 16, so it would be 16 plus 20, and we will finally get an answer of 36 centimeters. And now for the area, first step, add the top base and bottom base. So 5 and 12. 5 plus 12 in parentheses, so we know we have to do that first. Then divide by 2. Divide by 2 times the height. So we have to be given the height. So the area of the height, and we'll give the height 9 centimeters. So multiply by height, 9. Okay, so when we do this, first we'll get 17 divided by 2 times 9. When we divide by 2, we will get 8.5 times 9. And I'm going to need a little more space, so I'm going to be doing it over here, which is still in the problem area. So we can, I'm pretty sure in one of my videos I went over multiplying decimals and everything about decimals. So we remove the decimal point for now and multiply normally. So 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 4 is 76. And now we add back the decimal point, and since the decimal point was right here, it's only moved one place. So we're going to move it one place here, and the area would be 76.5 centimeters squared. Okay, sorry for cramming that in, but here's the area, 76.5 centimeters squared. Now, you guys can pause the video and do this practice problem. Okay, hopefully you've done it because I will be going over it now. So, for the perimeter of the trapezoid, we are going to add all the sides. So 3 plus 10 plus 11 plus 8, so 13 and 19. So when you add 13 plus 19, you're going to get that the perimeter is 32 units because it doesn't give us anything. 32 units. Okay, and now the area of the trapezoid. First step, add top base and bottom base. So we can add 3 plus 11. Then we're going to divide by 2. Then we're going to multiply by the height, which is 7. So when we do this, we're going to get first 14 divided by 2, which will be 7. And then 7 times 7, which is going to be 49 units squared. So that's all of the shapes, quadrilaterals, and shapes that we will be learning the area of. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you. Bye.